welcome to Focus on Frisco. Happy spring! I think we've made it. And with Nora sitting next to me, that means the barbecue is right around the corner, so I really think we made it, and I hope we made it, but we'll see what happens. Nora, welcome again.
Thank you for having me.
You have been quite the item on this show the last couple months. It does. It always means that it's summer. I mean, you guys still have a bunch of stuff in the winter, but it's summer, so that means it's everywhere.
Yes, and thank you to all the wonderful community volunteers who came out and cleaned up the town last weekend, getting us ready for all our fabulous spring events.
What was the pound count?
Oh, I don't know yet.
There was a ton of it, wasn't there?
There was over 2 tons of trash.
Yeah, there was. And it was amazing because we would see, we would do an area and then somebody would come up right behind us and do the same area and still find a ton of stuff.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And you gave out prizes for all those wacky categories.
Yes, Peak One Neighborhood sponsored the grossest, most unique, and most valuable items.
What was the most valuable? Do you remember?
A 1996 Broncos Chiefs ticket.
Ooh, cool.
The Broncos won that game.
Right, yeah. Nice. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, that was great. It's such a fun event every year, and it was a beautiful day for it.
It was a beautiful
So
day.
that was good. Anyway, so thank you. Yes, big time thank you to everybody who came out for that, which brings us to the next topic of volunteering.
Barbecue!
It's going to be great.
It is. This is the best event to volunteer for all year in the high country. It is so much fun, whether you're working it, whether you're eating at it, or drinking at it. It's just a great time. It's so much fun. So we are looking for volunteers still for our ticket booths, our beer booths, and a couple other zero waste. We are looking for zero waste volunteers. Of course, you know, we try to make this a zero waste event, and we have 70% waste diversion, which is
amazing.
Super impressive when you get to thinking about that much trash.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things that people can do. It's not just pouring beer if that's not their thing. They can do tickets. So there's plenty to do.
Plenty to do.
And is there still space? I'm assuming because we're talking about it that there is still space, but
there is. So go to www.friscobbq.com/volunteers. And you can sign up through there. And there is also a link out to the zero waste volunteering through HC3. They sign up everyone independently.
Okay. Now, I just want to remind everybody that if you're not already registered as a volunteer, there is a little bit more paperwork.
Not for this event.
Not on barbecue because it doesn't go through the town. Is that?
No,
Sorry.
we have a third-party organizer who handles all this, so it's not a lot of hoops to jump through. Just sign up, and they will give you a call and confirm your shift.
Great. Yes. Show up. It's so much fun.
It really is.
Yeah. So what are the dates of barbecue this year? It's coming up.
We have the kickoff concert at 8 o'clock on June 12th, and we have the London Souls. And yes, they are a really fun group, so that's going to be a great start to the event.
Yeah.
And
where's the concert? Down at the...
It's going to be on Main Street, right in front of Town Hall.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And that's at...
8 p.m.
8 p.m. on the 12th.
Yes,
Okay.
And then the rest of the event, we will start June 13th at 11 a.m. and go until 9 p.m. So you can stay all day, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Dinner. And I've done it. And it's well worth it, let me just tell you that. And there's something for all of those meals. There's no doubt about that.
There really is. You can find all kinds of amazing food at this event. It's unbelievable.
When do the vendors start to come in, or the competitors and the vendors?
The competitors and vendors start to show up Thursday morning at about 9 a.m. We close the road.
Okay.
And please, if you are in or near Frisco, please be respectful of that road closure, because there are a lot of people who are trying to get set up and get things done, and they're not really paying attention to people who are sneaking around the enclosures with their car and coming in there. So please be respectful of that, I beg of you.
Yes, it makes the event later so much better and just seems pretty reasonable, don't you think?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so we've got that. So it's the kickoff concert is the 12th.
Yes.
And then everything gets rolling on the 13th and 14th.
Yes.
Great. Let's go through some of the events.
So we will have pig races again this year at 12, 2, 4, 6.
Every day?
Every day, Friday and Saturday of the event.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
It's a big one. Everybody wants to see the pig races.
Everyone loves the pig races.
Yes.
And these pigs are so adorable, and they're competing and they're running, and they win an Oreo, and it's the cutest thing ever.
And they love it.
They do love it.
So that's at 12, 2, 4, 6.
Yes.
Okay, every day. So I would recommend getting there a little bit early.
Yes.
Because it fills up, and it's funny because you get there if you are a little early, 10 minutes, and you think, oh gosh, I can't believe nobody's coming, and then all of a sudden it's packed, and people push their way to the front. And
absolutely. So go stake out your seats early.
Yeah.
That is not to be missed.
Are you guys doing the bacon burner this year?
We are.
Excellent.
Yes, Saturday morning you can come on out and earn your barbecue and do a 6K bacon burner. You can find that on our website as well. You can link through it through the town of Frisco or through friscobbq.com.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And we will have our street performer back again this year.
Gosh, so much fun.
Yeah.
It is. It's a carnival. I had family in last year who had never been to the barbecue, and they were amazed. They said they come every Christmas, but have never been here for this summer event. They said they were floored, number one, by the number of people that come through, and the number of activities that you can participate in and watch, and the activities of the cooking people, and everything that you can do.
Yes,
super fun.
That's a great point because we have a lot of chef demos highlighting a lot of our local chefs. We have so many great restaurants in Frisco, and we get a lot of the chefs out there to come out, demonstrate what they're doing, how they're cooking. And we also have a celebrity chef demo, and this year it's going to be Kelly Lycan.
Fun!
Yes, she was
What
on
a
Iron
treat.
Chef a couple years, and she has a restaurant in Vale, so she's going to come out and do a demonstration as well.
So cool! What a treat that will be, and even more so because she's here. I mean,
she's local.
She's
it's not unattainable. You can see her here, and then you can go eat at her restaurant.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. We want to remind everybody too that you can still sign up to become a Kansas City certified judge, not necessarily judge this one, but you guys offer a class.
We do offer a class, yes. This is a Kansas City Barbecue sanctioned event, and we have all certified KCBS judges at this event.
Right.
And we also have the first judging school in the High Country in the season. So come and get certified to be a judge, and then you can go off and judge other contests and come back and judge us next year.
Absolutely. And it's a really cool thing to be able to do, but you might not be, I don't think everybody's necessarily aware of what Kansas City versus Texas barbecue versus everything, but it's a whole other world.
It is.
And this one is sanctioned specifically for Kansas City, so they're having you learn about the different flavors that you're looking for that are Kansas City specific.
Yes.
Really cool. So if you're already a member, then it's $45, and I think non-members are $80 or something like that.
I believe, yes.
And sign up, and it's from I think 6 until 10 and on that Thursday. So lots of fun.
Yes.
All right, so let's go through some of the other events. We covered pigs, which are huge. You've got the concert.
Yes.
And then the judging is on Saturday.
Friday afternoon and Saturday.
Okay.
And then we have the big awards ceremony, because this is a big competition for these guys. These people are competing to go to the Kansas City Royal, which is like the World Cup of barbecue.
So exciting.
Yes, it really is. So come watch them. I mean, the historic park just fills up for the judging and for the prizes and awards.
And what time is that on Saturday? Do you know?
4 p.m.
Okay. All right. So put that on your calendar. And then everything starts to wrap up after that. Sort of.
We have one more concert. We'll have Bonorama come and close us out for the event.
Very
so
cool.
Don't leave.
Right.
You can keep eating and and drinking and listening to music. And if you guys don't know, this event does benefit at least 6 nonprofits. We do have Advocates for Victims of Assault, Women of the Summit, High Country Conservation Summit, High Country Conservation Center, Summit County Restaurant Association, and did I say Advocates for Victims of Assault? Okay.
So there are a lot of things. So when you're spending your money on this fabulous, delicious food and beer and all of those things, and even some of the activities, all of it's going back to, or a lot of it is going back to our community. Everything does benefit it in some capacity, which I think speaks highly of the event in and of itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it makes it even more fun to buy all those bones. Are they still called bones? Is that what you guys call them?
Hogbacks.
Hogbacks, that's right. So get them, spend them, use them. There's plenty of things to do with it.
Yes, there is. There's entertainment all day, and there's plenty of food and fun things to do. Bouncy houses for the kids.
Yeah.
Wacky water walkers, which are the gerbil balls in the pool. The kids love it. Mechanical bull will be there again this year.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yes,
that's a good one. So that is June 12th is the concert, and kind of as people start to come in and get everything set up, the actual barbecue is the 13th and the 14th.
Yes, it is.
And then everything starts to break down on Sunday the 15th. as they're
we
out
hopefully
of town.
get it
Right.
all cleaned up on Saturday and get the road back open, and that's a great day for anyone who's come up for the event to head out to the marina and rent a kayak or a boat, make a weekend of it, go rafting, go to the bike park, play disc golf.
And there's still plenty of places to stay in town. You know, a lot of these people that are coming in for the competitions are bringing their RVs and things like that, so there's still plenty of space for people to make room reservations, and it really is. It's such a fun weekend. So if you've not been a participant in the shenanigans, we highly recommend it. All right, Nora, so let's talk a little bit again about volunteers.
Yes.
You can go on to friscobbq.com/volunteers.
This is not the same volunteer form that we use for the rest of our events and the rest of anything else through the town of Frisco. So this is going through a third party who is wonderful to donate their time and help us with this every year. But friscobbq.com/volunteers, sign up there, let us know what you would like to do, and also you can click on the link to go sign up for the High Country Conservation Center Zero Waste, which is really important at this event, and we really appreciate everything that everyone comes out and does.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And don't forget too that even throughout the whole barbecue weekend, all of the businesses up and down Main Street are open. They are happy to have you wander in and out of their stores. This is a great time for them to showcase so many things that they have.
Yes.
So don't forget that those stores are open, and stop in and say hi.
Yeah, and many of them take hogbacks. So if you have hogbacks left over after the event, go spend them in town.
Right, don't throw them away, spend them.
Yeah, we'll have a list in the newspaper of where you can spend those at.
That sounds great. Nora, thank you so very much. If you're looking for more information, go to friscobbq.com and you can get links from there, but make sure that you put this on your calendar. It's only a couple of weeks away and so much fun. All right, Nora, we're going to take a quick break here on Focus on Frisco. You are watching SCTV 10, so stick around. Welcome back to Focus on Frisco. You're watching SCTV 10. I'm Shannon Fallon. Well, you watched them here on SCTV at 10, you voted for them, and now you get to meet them on this very own show. Two new council members joining us today, and we're starting with Hunter Mortensen. Hunter, it's great to meet you.
Yes, thank you.
Certainly, congratulations are in order.
I appreciate that.
Yes, pretty exciting. I guess let's start a little bit with who you are. It's my understanding that you have lived in this area your whole life.
Whole life, yep. I'm lucky enough to be born and raised in Summit County.
Went to Summit High and
didn't come to Summit High. Went away for high school, but my mom was still always in town. Came back every vacation, and
that's incredible.
So
that's incredible. So you've seen literally, because I'm guessing you're in your early 30s.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
So you have seen Summit County change exponentially.
Huge. Yeah.
And what's the biggest change? Well, we can talk about that later. Let us know a little bit about you. Who are you? You're from here.
From here, yep. So, been in Frisco all my life. Can't think of a better town to be in.
Right.
Did a little stint in the Front Range for college and thinking about a real job.
Right.
Didn't find a good definition for that and couldn't wait to come back with my wife. Now I'm a year-round employee for Breckenridge Ski Resort, where mostly I'm ski patrol there.
Great.
And then do the summer bike patrol trail crew operation. So yeah, so it's outside all day, year round, pretty good deal.
Absolutely, that's not bad. You can't beat that.
Can't complain where I found myself, and I think it's a real job, so I'm happy about that.
That's great. Yeah. So you decided to stay, so you grew up in Frisco.
Yes.
And why did you decide to stay in Frisco? What drew you to this town rather than you work in Breckenridge? You know, why not stay in Breckenridge?
I think what I really love about Frisco that I nostalgically remember from growing up, and it still has today, is that it's a town where as a kid growing up, or as a parent, or as anybody in the community, it's small. It's not going to get any bigger.
Right.
As a kid, you can wander around, you can go to the parks, you can ride your bike, you can go to the marina, you can do all of the activities that are there without being exposed to any great dangers, huge traffic, the interstate, anything else. It's comfortable, and it is a community. And then also, the threat that I was always under was if it's a small enough town that you're going to know somebody wherever you go. But I appreciate that. So watch your step. Be careful, because somebody's going to know you.
And they're going to tell your mom.
And that unfortunately played true. But I think that's the benefit of Frisco, and why my wife and I wanted to live in Frisco when we came back to the mountains is that it has that true community where everybody's looking out for each other. It's small enough that you know what's going on, you know who's coming and going, and you can take care of each other. And that's important to me.
So when you were starting to decide to take the step to run for council, why now? And why?
Yeah, that always a good question when you ever ask somebody if they're getting into politics.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
Why?
turns out it is politics. I never thought of it that way until somebody said I was a
It
politician.
most certainly is.
Yes, and
yeah.
There's a lot of reasons. The most important is, same as I said, I love Frisco. I love the community. It's a time that I now have time to give my time back to the community in this way.
Right.
And I've had a lot of friends who I know who don't have the time that I do right now.
Right.
But we care sincerely about the direction that Frisco is going, the future of Frisco, and it gives me a chance to express those concerns, be a part of it, be in the decision-making process to make sure Frisco continues on with all the great things that it's done and where we're going.
Now, in your bio, you did mention that you feel like you're the future of Frisco. You don't have anything to gain politically by doing this. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't mean that you have aspirations to become a state senator or anything like that. But you feel like you're the future of Frisco and you want to be part of it. What does that mean to you? What is the future of Frisco?
I think being part of the future of Frisco is that how many 30-year-olds are in town government right now,
right.
An elected town government, and not many. And I think that gives me an important perspective that hasn't always been there in town discussions. Frisco's big strive right now is to become a family-friendly, family-oriented town.
Right.
And that's who I am right now in my life. And
Sure.
so there's a demographic that I represent directly. And I have a number of friends in the community who now have somebody they can talk to, tell their neighbors, hey,
right.
I know Hunter, let's talk to him. I can call him, I can email him, I can stop by his house.
And when you decided to run, and you have to get signatures so people are happy to talk to you about what their likes and dislikes are. What were you hearing? I mean, as you did some of the things that people were talking to you about resonate? And how do you plan to put some of those things into action?
The thing I heard the most was people were really excited. Frisco's in a great spot. There's no huge contentious issues surrounding the town right now.
Right.
Whole Foods has been a phenomenal success. People are excited. The Main Street project is happening, and I think we've got a good schedule for that. It was more people having somebody they know, they trust, has a connection to the town. So in the future, when things do come up, they can talk to me. They know sincerely and honestly where I come from and what I stand for.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. And then, as I said, I don't have any external motivations. I work for Vail Resorts. I work for the biggest employer in the county.
Right.
Being on town council isn't going to benefit me in any way other than the community I live in.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And what do you think, we touched on it before, what do you think is the biggest change that you've seen in the 30-some years that you've been here? I mean, is it everything?
It's, as you're growing up, perspective changes, right? Your world gets bigger than the playground, bigger than school. So Frisco has changed greatly, and I remember when the sidewalks were put in, and riding my bike home from school, and there's a sidewalk. I thought that was a pretty cool step.
What an incredible thing
But
to
the
say
growth, I think, has been in a controlled way and with good focus. And so, as an overall change, I don't think much. I think it's stayed a great small mountain town that more people are coming to visit.
Right. And what would you like to accomplish while you are in this term? What do you foresee happening?
That's tough, because there's a lot that can be done. I think. We're looking at recreation. We're looking at trying to make sure families can stay here. It's affordable enough for everybody to stay here.
Well, you see so much being built right now, and somebody told me the number of new units throughout the town that were being constructed, and I was blown away by the number.
Yep.
But it means that number one, people are interested. And number two, that it's growing, and I think that's a good thing, and to bring families in, if that's that being Frisco, one of Frisco's big pushes with all these new neighborhoods and things like that. But I was blown away at the number. Blown away.
And I think that's so. I just want to make sure that in that growth, it's not just for that sake. It's a sense we have a lot. Let's make it as dense as we possibly can. Right. That there's the balance between keeping people coming to town on a permanent basis to live, to vacation, the folks we have who come just for the winters or just for the summers. So the mix maintains itself, so we don't have just neighborhoods that in the summer no one's in a block of houses, or vice versa in the wintertime. So that'd be my big not concern, but goal by the end, is that in 4 years people can say, look, the town is still vibrant. It still has a feeling that there's a community. It's not just a bedroom area with a ton of density.
Yes.
So
yeah, just keeping it a real town like you remember.
Yep. Yeah.
I have young kids, and it's true. It's nice to know that they can kind of wander a little bit more than you would in any city, but keeping that would be great.
It's important.
But you still see, on the flip side, you still see things like Whole Foods coming in and making it a little bit more, a little easier to live here on a full-time basis, because you have some of the things that we continue to need.
Yeah, and I think between the hospital and Whole Foods and Main Street, I mean, we're in a perfect triangle of options and things that are going to bring people here, and hopefully they can stay.
Yeah. And as you see, so you said you remember as a kid getting a new sidewalk, and that kind of segues into our Main Street starting to be renovated. What do you think of that?
I think it's great. It's time. I mean, it doesn't take much to look at Main Street when you're walking down on a quiet day to see that it's had some wear and tear.
Right.
No one likes construction. It's going to be a difficult project, but I think having some of the, it's going to dress it up. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be more attractive. It's going to draw more people in. I think that's an important change. And then obviously the infrastructure. It's the stuff you can't see is important as well.
Yeah.
And with, as you said, with the amount of new units coming online, some of the building that's happening, we want to make sure that we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves in that regard.
Sure.
So there'll be some learning processes. I think construction is not fun, but it's to have Main Street, the new design is beautiful, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
It is part of our town. We are.
Yeah. And just as a final question, what do you see as the biggest change in your time that you've been? I mean, you say that it's the infrastructure and the growth of the town and its ability to pull people in. I mean, when you were a kid, it was a little bit more of a, not as much of a destination maybe. It was a small town where people lived and they went through to other places. But Frisco is a destination.
Yeah.
And it becomes more and more of a destination, literally, I think, every day.
Yep.
What do you see any problems with that? Do you see that as great? Do you see that there should be a cap on it? I mean, what are your thoughts on the growth of Frisco and it becoming a destination?
Yep. I think it's fantastic because you don't want to cap it.
Right.
Because then it becomes exclusive, and I think that's the last thing that Frisco ever has been or will be is exclusive. And it's great to be the hub of all mountain recreation. You can come to Frisco and you're close to everywhere. You're close enough to Steamboat, to Vail, to all the other communities with everything they have to offer, plus our own offerings with the marina and the adventure park.
Do you wish when you were a kid that you had an adventure park?
I know,
right?
Could have saved a lot of getting chased off of other people's land.
Exactly.
But we had the old ski jumping hill, which used to be the tubing hill, and I think that's the fun part of the history, and having things like the museum that's preserving some of the things that people don't realize, that the ski jumping hill was right there in Frisco, and it used to be a part of our community. So I think that's part of the fun of what Frisco is, that it's a very diverse, tiny place that draws people in, and I feel fortunate to be a part of that.
You bet. Hunter, thank you very much.
My pleasure, thank you.
Yes, I think this is very exciting. It's fun to see some of these changes come through, and I wish you the best. I know it's challenging, but a lot of fun, and it's great I'm excited that you're willing to help make a difference and making the town better.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Hunter Mortensen, certainly you can get a hold of him by calling Town Hall questions, and I'm sure as he gets into it, this is the fun stuff, that answered questions and meeting with people and again, making that impact. We'll be right back. I've got Dan Kibbie, who's going to be joining us as well, the new on council. So stay with us right here on SCTV 10. Welcome back to Focus on Frisco. As promised, yes, the other one you voted in, he is here. Dan Kibbie is joining me right now. Dan, hi.
Hi, how you doing
there?
Nice to see you. Nice seeing you too. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. You too. Good to have you on. This is big for you.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, you have lived and worked in the area for a long time. What you said, you moved here in '89.
Moved here in '86 and moved '89 to Frisco.
Okay.
Yeah, bought my first house in Frisco in '89.
So that's a great question. Why did you decide to move to Frisco?
I was passing through in a '66 Mustang headed to California.
Do you still have it? Because I'll buy it.
No. I took that off Officers Gulch Bridge and totaled it.
Sorry.
But I was going to California, to the Bay Area, to work for an engineering firm, and I never made it. I stopped in Frisco.
No
it was
kidding.
November, Thanksgiving in November 1986. It was an 18-inch powder day. It was a great day of skiing, and I was with a buddy, and we said, hey, this would be a great place to live. And so I've been here ever since.
Where were you coming from?
Connecticut. So I've lived in all 3 sea states, California, Connecticut, and Colorado. Yeah.
Well, and here you are, loving this sea state the most.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So stayed. You loved it.
Yep.
And ended up moving specifically to Frisco.
Yep.
What made you stay here in Frisco as opposed to any of the other surrounding towns? What was the draw?
Frisco is just so local.
Yeah.
Locally, it's not a resort town and stuff, and you're not out like Keystone or Breck. You're kind of local. It's central, you know. It's more of a family town, I think. More people year round, and it's just a beautiful town.
It's a great spot.
Yeah, it is.
It's a great spot. So you've lived here since 86, 89. What inspired you to run for town council? Why now instead of 1992?
Well, a lot of things is, I quit my job at Copper of 22 years in 2007. Spent 4 years traveling around South America on a motorcycle, 2 years on a motorcycle. And spent a lot of money. And I needed to settle down. And, I always had my houses here. So
Right.
I have 3 houses here in Frisco. And I'll always live here. So it wasn't to come and settle down, but I just like the town. I wanted to give back to town. I have a lot of time now. When I was running restaurants for Copper, and the restaurant business, 12 to 15 hours a day, and you don't have much time.
Yeah.
And I ran for mayor in '92, and I figured I'd try again. And
Love
when
it.
I ran for mayor, everybody told me I should have started off with council. So
I
I'm
say
starting
go
with
for the
council.
top.
Yeah, that's what I said too. So I'm going to start off with council, and hey, one of these days maybe I'll be mayor.
There
so
you go.
Who knows?
There you go. So when you decided to go for council, it's one of the, it's the time commitment, which is why you waited until you were off. What are your thoughts on? I guess why? What are you going to bring to the table that we haven't seen in a while, or what do you feel like you can? How do you think you can benefit it?
Well, I think, me and Hunter, just the youth, just having some younger people, which I'm not as young as Hunter is.
Yeah.
I still feel like I'm that young.
That's good.
But I think just a more dynamic of the council has been a lot of professionals, and
Right.
it's nice to have people that are recreational people and that are looking to make the town a recreational town and not such a big business.
Right.
It is a business, but where's the recreation? It's making our trails nicer, our forests nicer, making it for people to live here year round. We're 65% second homeowners. It would be nice if it was 50-50.
Right.
So that I'd like to see change. And work on recreation. That's why I moved here. I moved here for I race mountain bikes, I rock climb, I kayak. I'm here for recreation. I'm not here for my property values to go up. I'm not here for big city thing. If I wanted a big city thing, I'd go to Denver.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm here for the little town atmosphere and to give back to a town that's been really great to me.
Yeah. And you did so much traveling. You said 4 years, 2 of them on a motorcycle, down in South America. What do you think that's going to bring? That experience, how, as us being a resort town and things like that, how do you think that's going to benefit you as you relate to our guests and our residents?
Well, I've seen a lot of things going through Patagonia, Chile, Patagonia, and Argentina, Patagonia. I've been through Bariloche 6 times on a motorcycle. They just have a lot of recreational things and a lot of nice mountain trails, a lot of zip line, rope courses that I've been to, a lot of outside things that I think we could bring here.
Well, you think it's something that could
definitely.
that could be brought here? With the space that we have and things like that.
A lot of things. When I just rode back from Alaska on a motorcycle last summer, and in British Columbia they have the pine beetle thing.
Right.
Okay, just one instance. They have campgrounds. They have the wood there for free. They're cutting it, leaving it, just burn it. Let's do something with it,
right.
Instead of just trucking it or leaving it, So that's a good idea. It's just, hey, cut
Here
the
it
wood,
is.
throw it in a pile if
Right.
the campers want to use it, but we're into selling wood.
Right.
And that takes out of the concessionaire of selling wood, So little things like that, that you see, and, a lot of these towns, I think less is better.
Right.
Sometimes some of the happiest people are some of the poorest people I met.
Yeah.
and more happy. It's just amazing. I think the less you have, the happier you could be.
Right. And do you think that's something that, in terms of reflecting in the town, we're still growing, more and more units are coming in, more and more businesses are coming in.
Yeah.
But I bet it's a hard thing to reconcile coming from that point of view, because then you get the people who are up here and Denver's just a spit away.
Yeah.
But you kind of want some of those things here.
It's a hard balancing act, and it's going to be it's always been a hard balancing act.
Are you excited about the challenge?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That's a perspective that you certainly hear a lot, especially a couple years ago. What was it, 2005 through 7, where they were looking at things to put on that space, and people were adamantly against it.
Yeah.
And it was a growth thing. But now we've got something that seems to be palatable and
a very good addition to the town of Frisco. Really good addition. And, that took out a lot of the controversial things. There's been a lot, since I've been here, there's been a lot of controversial things. So I'm kind of fortunate that a lot of those things have already been done.
Right, exactly.
Because, I like the people of Frisco. I love them. I want them to like me.
Yeah.
And a lot of those things did divide people. Development, and you have people that don't want it. You have people who want it.
Always.
It's a hard balancing act.
It is. It is.
And but
with the industry that you've worked in and doing all that traveling, I just feel like that's going to be a benefit, because you've learned how to talk to people and how to take those perspectives and really be open about a lot of those perspectives, and having a new point of view. Because you're right, a lot of the council members have been professionals in the recent years. But it's nice to see that.
It's a good dynamic now, I think.
Yeah.
We got Larry on there, and
you guys have had
some older, some
council
lower
meetings?
I think 2 or 3 of them now. Not much on the agenda
Right.
yet.
A little quiet right now.
But hopefully we'll just just keep on moving the town forward.
Yeah.
And it's a great town, and everybody's done a great job. The council members in the past have done great jobs, and I think we'll continue to do that.
Did you pick up a spatula on town cleanup day and do
I
some
did.
cooking?
Yeah, we were doing some cooking. Some cooking. Yeah, it was good. It was good to see. I'm usually out of the country in May.
I know.
So it was this year. We were home this May, so it was nice. The town cleanup days used to be June.
Right.
And so May was kind of hard, but it was good to see. It's good to see everybody. Everybody comes out for that day, and it's been a long winter, and finally you get to see all the residents come out.
That's it.
And the barbecue challenge is another one of those events that you get to see. It's more of a town event, I think.
Yeah.
You get to see your friends. You get to see the people who've been locked up all winter.
Well, we all laugh about that. You can have a next door neighbor that you haven't seen for 3.5 months, and all of a sudden, the snow starts to melt, and you can see over the snowbanks, especially this year, and it's kind of a town again.
Well, it's a small world.
Yeah.
And with Hunter, I met Hunter in Alaska this summer.
You're kidding me.
Rafting. We were rafting in Denali.
Talk about a small world.
Yeah, and so then I found out he lived 2 blocks from me.
Right.
And now both of us are town council
That's
members.
incredible.
I don't know how it happened, But that's the first time I met Hunter, was in Alaska.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
2 blocks away.
2 blocks away.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see what happens. It feels like there's some great energy, and certainly all of our councils. I commend everybody that ever runs. It's just such a cool thing to be able to do, to give back to this community that, such as you and Hunter, have given so much to you. That smile that I'm stopping here. What an amazing feeling that is.
Yeah.
That this is it. This is where I'm going to live. And it's fun to see that you're going to take the time, because it is time consuming. It takes away from a lot of different things. But we certainly appreciate that you're going to take on the challenges.
Well, thanks. I
All
appreciate
right.
it, Jen.
Well, a big welcome to you.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us here on Focus on Frisco on behalf of everybody who worked so hard to put it together, certainly Brad and Brody, and our guests, Nora. Always great to see her as we start to talk about the barbecue challenge, and we'll see her again, and Hunter and Dan. On behalf of the whole town of Frisco, I am Shannon Fallon. Thanks so much for joining us on Focus on Frisco, and we'll see you again real soon.